What's up, traders? This is Matt with Conservative Trades. What an awesome day. I feel good about today. I did not overtrade. I'm up $342.47 on the day, and I'm probably really up, I guess after fees and commissions, I'm probably still up close to 300, maybe, I don't know, maybe 280. So this was a good day. This was a great start to the week. And coming into the live stream this morning, we were talking about the S&P 500, and ignore some of these lines here. I know this looks kind of messy, but these are just key levels that I have marked out. But we know that there wasn't any really horrible news over the weekend. As a matter of fact, we started getting some good news about cases being reduced, coronavirus cases being reduced. I think in New York, they were seeming to get it under control a little bit. And I had this level marked out. This was a very important level because it's where several of these candles had tried to get up above and they just couldn't do it, and it dropped back. And so I knew today that if this gets above here, that we could see a good solid breakout, which we actually did. As a matter of fact, I'll show you real quick here on the 5-minute chart towards the end of the day. So you can see it just had a massive buy up here. It shot past this green line, kind of teetered around it, same green line, same level that I marked out on the daily, and teetered around, but then just immediately started getting bought up. And obviously it's come back a little bit. Ignore this big line here, this big wick. It's a misprint. It's not really there. So, but anyway, guys, today was overall a fairly good day. And I'm going to just go through the trades here for you real quickly. As a matter of fact, when I first got started today, the very first trade I took was a pre-market trade on IMMU. Now, IMMU had some pretty darn good news, and I believe it had to do with a breast cancer study, maybe a treatment study. And anyway, it had gained so much value up here, so much value, and it started to lose that value. And you can see here it had broken up above all these moving averages, but there was just a massive sell-off during pre-market, and which could have just had to do with the fact that everybody who had endured the losses down here since the market has been crashing here in the last couple of months, it could just be that when they woke up this morning and saw this, they were like, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out. Like, this is one portfolio that's doing great, and I want to go ahead and get out. So, I really don't know. I really don't know what was happening, but all I know is that on the level 2, and even on the charts, the patterns, the technicals all looked really great for a short. And I actually did not hold on to this position as long as I should have. And I only made like $50 on it. I think I went like 200 shares short. Let's see. Yeah, 200 shares short. And the first take profit should have been at the 2050 mark. It should have been at the 2050 mark. I took profit way too quick on it. And then I should have, I probably would have taken the other profit down maybe at the $20 mark. And so this was supposed to be a $150 move. So I'm really not proud of it. I only made about $55 off of it, but I did come into the market today with $55 up on IMMU. And you can see I traded it multiple times. I say a couple more times. I tried to go short here at the break of this candle. It started to pop up. I got nervous at VWAP. I removed some of my shares. This is a strategy that I use often. I will oftentimes get into trades and say I go 200 shares short, okay, at a place where it looks like it should break down. Well, if I don't see immediate breakdown, I'll either take some of my shares off break even, or I'll have certain points. Like here, it was VWAP. And I thought to myself, man, if this comes all the way back to VWAP, I'm going to go ahead and remove half of my shares. That way you get to stay in the trade. You keep some of your shares still in the trade. You don't get out all of them. But if you unload, or let me just put it like this, by unloading half of your position, you're reducing the weight. You're giving the time a lot more room to breathe, or you're giving the stock time to breathe, time to work itself out. You're giving it a lot more room to move. And so the next take profit, I probably would have finally removed the rest of my shares here at the break of, or at either the break of the 9 EMA, or if it continued to move past these previous areas of support, which should be acting at resistance by that moment. So that's where I would have taken it out. But it actually came back down, and I got nervous, and I went ahead and got out break even on the other 200 shares. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because it just chopped around here. And then I took just a really small trade right here. You can see just went short for a 10-cent drop. I think all I took was like 200 shares. So I'm fine with it. This is the thing, and I tell everybody in the live stream all the time, like, this is the thing with using conservative share size. Going into trades with conservative share size, you can afford to get slapped in the face several times by a stock, and you'll still end up in the green. Look, I still ended up basically $60 on IMMU. Now, after fees and commissions and everything, I mean, there's only a few tickets on this one. I mean, I probably still made $50 on it after fees and commissions. I had an opportunity to get in and see if we were going to get some better moves on it. The moves didn't work out. I got slapped in the face right here, made a little bit back of it here, but, we ended it in the green. And so I'm happy about that. DOCU was one that looked like a really good risk to reward. As you can see, it had come all the way up here. And this is the kind of trade that I like to see. And I will remove these moving averages sometimes just to get clear perspective how far we are off of VWAP. I think sometimes when you have the moving averages here, you tend to think, oh man, this can't break, because there's these moving averages in the way. But guys, moving averages, first of all, we have to always bear in mind that these are lagging indicators and they don't always tell the true story. I mean, look at this. Look how many times this 9 EMA was broken through. Look at all the choppiness. I mean, who's all the people that, went short thinking, oh, it's breaking the 9 EMA, and they ended up getting chopped out, and even the 20 here, it broke both the 9 and the 20 and it came right back up through them, so sometimes, sometimes I just stick to watching VWAP, and a lot of times stocks will move back to VWAP. Okay, and I thought this one was working on that. As you can see, we were forming lower 5-minute candles. They were forming lower highs, and it finally, on this candle, broke this previous 5-minute candle. And so I thought, okay, this is it. This is good. And I was watching level 2. It looked all right, and it started breaking down, but then all of a sudden just snapped back up, and I went ahead and got out real quickly. Okay, and I think all I took on this was 50 shares, but I was looking for at least $1.50 move. So we're talking 50, 60, 70 bucks maybe on this trade. So the risk to reward's pretty good on this one. As you can see, I only lost $14. So lost 14. I was risking 14 to make 50, 60, 70 bucks. So that's not bad at all. And guys, that's what I constantly think about when I'm taking trades. I constantly think about, okay, what is my risk to reward? Can I justify taking this trade? Sure, I might be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll get out. But you've got to stick to your loss. You've got to stick to your loss. And if it starts moving in your favor, you need to know how to sit on your hands and let the trade work itself out too. So there's discipline on both sides of the spectrum there. Now coming over here to ZM, this was I was really proud of this trade, but this morning when it started breaking down here, ZM actually had some bad news. There's something with, I don't know, privacy issues. I can't really remember the exact catalyst, but even the New York school system wasn't going to be using Zoom anymore, or they weren't going to use them. They were going to use Google or something like that. So I don't know, Google Hangouts or something. Again, I'm a little hazy on the details at this point, but I was reading through the articles this morning and I knew that it was weak enough to do something. I knew that, or that the articles were damaging enough that if this had enough pressure to the downside, and as long as it looked good on the charts and the level 2s, I was going to take it, and I took it. The only thing I'm upset about is I only went short 100 shares. Zoom can be whippy. As you can see, we had a lot of whippy action throughout the day today, and because Zoom can be so whippy, I hesitated to take more. But I should have taken more. I should have, this was the first trade out of the gates. There's no reason for me. Everything looked good on it. I should have taken 200 shares. And had I taken 200 shares, this would have been a much better move. This definitely would have been a good $200 to $300 move right here alone. So when it came down here, I actually tried to go short again. I tried to add to my position. It started moving against me, so I went ahead and just got out. And I'm glad I did because, and again, this is the importance of sticking to your rules, guys, because look at this candle here. I mean, just shot all the way up here, and then it looked like all this was a massive short squeeze. And I saw this huge wick forming here. And so I decided to go short again and took a little bit of profit down here, and then I decided to go short again, took a little profit here, it started moving against me, so I got out. And I really didn't trade Zoom again until over here. I jumped in, and there must have been something that I saw because I got out, I got scared, and I got out pretty much break even. But then it started moving to the downside, and I just took a little scalp here, quick little scalp here, and that was it. That was it on Zoom. And so we ended the day up 116 on Zoom. So, guys, and after fees and commissions, still probably made 90 bucks on Zoom. So again, this is why I said, we're doing well on the day because really didn't overtrade, and with fees and commissions, everything, I'm still ending the day up pretty close to $300. Boeing is the last one that I want to cover. I'm really proud of this one because I'm not typically a long bias trader, but Boeing came down here, and on the 1-minute chart, you could see that it was slowing down. I'll see if I can open it up. This might be difficult for you guys to see just because these charts here on light speed are not the best, but if you can see here, it's kind of small. If you can see here what was forming here on this pattern over here, it looked like the sell volume was really beginning to wear off. And look down here, look at this, look how weak that sell volume is. And SPY was doing pretty well, so I went ahead and went long, just 100 shares. Started piecing out here and all the way up here and took out my last little bit here. This right here was actually a short. I actually tried to go short as it made its way up here thinking that it was going to retrace to VWAP, and I had to get out. I went short again, made just a little bit of profit here, and then took some pretty nice trades here. Went short, got out some of the shares right here, and then added to the position when I saw it breaking, added to the position, and then got out here. So that was a pretty good trade. Went short here, and went ahead and got out, went short here, I lost on that one. I actually only took half my position off here, and I took the rest off here when it came down close to break even. And then here I went short, got out half my shares here, but then when it started working out, I went ahead and jumped in again, loaded back in, averaged into my position, and then started taking profits on the way down. It came up all the way up here. Now, I've noticed this a lot on stocks. When you see flat top breakdowns like this, oftentimes it'll always make a retracement and look like it's going to come back up. And I typically short those. And what I would have done is put a stop to break even, or excuse me, put a stop at the break of the previous 5-minute candle. But I went in here, it never broke, and it ended up coming down, and I took a little bit of profit there. And then here at the end, when the SPY was being bought up, I went ahead and went long, took a little profit, averaged back in and took a little profit. No, excuse me, I actually shorted on this one, and then because the SPY looked like it was starting to pull back on the run up, and so I shorted here and then got out here. So if you see, I ended the day up about $180 on Boeing. So, you know, guys, really good trades today. I feel like I'm getting more of a hang of these choppy market conditions, but we just have to be careful. We have to stick to our rules. I mean, that's one of the biggest thing. And I love having this strategy that enables me to, you know, first of all, I never size in with full position on anything. Never size in with full position on anything. What I'll do is I'll take a pretty conservative share size, because that allows me to let the trade work itself out without me getting nervous and feeling like I have to get out. And you can already see today, even with conservative share size, there were some points where I was nervous and went ahead and got out, even with that small share size. So the thing is like this move right here, where I got short here, I was able to let it run up all the way up to here, which was basically a whole extra dollar move, more than a dollar move, and then just come out half of my position. I just took out half of my position, and I was going to set a stop for the rest of the position at the break of this candle, but it never broke, and it came down. And you know, so this is a strategy that I love and appreciate. It has served me well. Again, going in with conservative share size. If it moves against me to a certain point, I unload half and I see what happens to the rest. And a lot of times, like if there's really quick rejections, I'll hold on to the other half of the position and usually get good moves out of it. It usually doesn't end like this, where I lose on the trade. So, but again, real happy with the trades today. Hope you guys did all right. And for those of you who joined us in the live stream this morning, as always, it's always good to see you guys. Had a great time with y'all. If you're new to the channel, consider joining us. We trade live right here on the channel, Monday through Friday, beginning roughly around 9 a.m. If you enjoyed the content, consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.